This is coming out on Sunday, so definitely self-care Sunday vibes. You know what I'm saying? Yes. It just does something for the spirit. That's self-care. It's a great way of... Somebody's being noisy. Y'all, I deal with this all day. You can't pour from an empty cup, but what I would do would be whenever I would get just a droplet or even just a little condensation in my cup, I would give it away instead of making sure that as I was pouring out, I was also pouring in. Greetings and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Valentine Tarisse, and here I talk about wellness, lifestyle, and share my dramatic antics. Today, though, I'm really excited because we are talking self-care, and my goodness, is that needed more than ever right now? I mean, there are so many things that are being thrown our way that self-care is so vital. It was vital before, but it sure is vital now. Okay, so I have a very interesting relationship with self-care. Lord knows that the ideas that play into self-care is not really a new thing, but self-care is a relatively newer term. And I think I struggled with this so much because I equated self-care with selflessness. I think I definitely had a mindset of putting everybody and everybody else's needs first, and not honoring what Valentine needed to even do that. You can't pour from an empty cup, but what I would do would be whenever I would get just a droplet or even just a little condensation in my cup, I would give it away instead of making sure that as I was pouring out, I was also pouring in. And so that's really what, for me, self-care is making sure that you have regular practices that allow your cup to remain full. And so that when you are giving, it's from a place of overflowing and not depleting your needs. And so that is something I've definitely had to learn the hard way. And I think that definitely during quarantine, I have had to find a deeper meaning of what self-care is, because it's been such craziness. The usual things that you may do to keep yourself sane or groomed or at peace or whatever may not be at your disposal. And even if it is, if you live in Atlanta, because most things are open, you may not feel comfortable partaking in those things. And so having to get creative and innovative to maintain self-care, wow. This is coming out on Sunday, so definitely self-care Sunday vibes, is that I've actually had to take the time to like really schedule and be intentional about when my self-care time is. And sometimes, yes, it may have to be spontaneous and sporadic because of how that day went or whatever, but actually carving out time, which for me is typically Sundays. And Sundays, I usually start my morning with a service, and in this time it's virtual, so I'm watching church services, which has been really neat because I get to tune in to family members and friends preaching and leading all over the place, so that's been really cool. It's been hard though. I do miss being in a church environment and being able to fellowship with a community of believers, but it has had its rewards as well, because how often would I be able to watch my loved ones from wherever they are and be able to be present for them and show up in this way and support them. So that's been cool. Anyway, so I start my Sundays off typically with service, breakfast, and all of that. I then usually take some time to work out, and if I have like some home chores that I need to do, I may do it at that time. And then I go into doing some self-care, which includes rest. And so my self-care, I do things that I know that are part of like my grooming routine, or either things that just really can calm me and center me, that just bring me joy and delight, and that really prepare me for the work week as well. But I don't like to really I don't really like to think of the self-care and how it can prepare me to necessarily be productive, but that keeps me at peace and that keeps me grounded. So what are some things that I do regularly to maintain my self-care on my self-care Sundays? Well, definitely those grooming things that help calm us. are definitely things that I try to do every single Sunday. Before quarantine, it would be a little bit more sporadic of when I would do these things, because some of these things I would go outside of the house to do them. But of course, during this time, well, I have chosen to just keep, doing them myself for now. My nails and my hair is definitely a way, and through my clothing is definitely a way that I like. Through my nails and hair, it is definitely a way that I stay creative and that I express myself. Before COVID, I would have my nail game now, I would probably wait too long in between fillings, which would be another indicator that I was not taking care of me. But nonetheless, I would love to play around with vibrant colors and all that. Same with my hair, though I usually keep my hair in natural styles or braids or some type of protective style. I like to change it up. I like to change my hair color. I like to have that type of fun. Now, at home, that means I have to do it myself. So if that means trying on, making sure that I'm filing my nails or cutting back my cuticles or, having my own little at-home spa, giving myself a luxurious experience, that gives me time to de-stress, to only focus on me, to put on some peaceful music, put on my robe, and just be comfortable and have some fun and a moment of relaxation. Same with my hair, though it is a process. I can also find the fun of being creative in doing it myself. Another thing that I will do if I know that I need to take care of self is making sure that my space is in order. It is annoying when things are everywhere. It's annoying when things are cluttered. I live in a small space. I currently live in a studio apartment, and so if one thing gets out of place, the whole thing for me just goes a mess, because it's not like I don't have a secret room to throw something in and be my junk room. I have literally just one big room. And so I have to be mindful about what my space looks like. My skincare routine. And so my skincare routine is something that I definitely like to stick to. It's something that is relatively new for me. I started seeing a dermatologist last year, and she has really helped me with my skin. But just being mindful of my skin routine and taking the time on Sundays to do that mask, do a clay mask or some type of hydrating mask or something like that. Of course, during that time, I can do but so much, but so it really allows me to just sit and be and exist and let the ingredients of, everything just do what it needs to do. And I typically do that mask routine about twice a week, but I definitely do it on Sundays when I do everything else. Another thing that I definitely must do is dedicate time each day to prayer and meditation. I have to start my day off that way. If I don't, you can tell. And well, at least I can tell. I can tell the difference of a day if I put God first, if I'm starting with prayer. My family during this quarantine time has started praying at the same time, and not necessarily on the phone with each other, but we will all stop at the same time to pray. Whatever's on our hearts, but also for each other, for the world, for our community, and all of that. And so that has been a great piece of grounding for me to start each day, to center myself, to be connected with my breath, to be connected with the Spirit, with the Holy Spirit, and to be able to forge each day with gladness, with joy, determination, and all those good things. Often on Sundays, during my self-care Sunday, that means I'm also probably cooking and meal prepping, and it allows me to get creative as well. I'm vegan, so I'm always exploring new recipes and new things that I just hadn't tried before. I love creating in the kitchen, though I have probably cooked during the season more than I ever have, at least consistently, and so that has been extremely rewarding. I've even gone as far as getting new things for my kitchen, which has been great. Great auntie vibes are loading. Of course, working out is something that I'm intentional, well, that's more of an everyday practice, but I'm intentional about is working out. Usually on Sundays, I do something a little bit more low impact that involves breathing and stretching. So usually yoga or something like that. But in that same vein, to get the heart rate up, I love to just turn on my favorite track of the day or whatever it is and just dance and sing around my apartment. That gives me a lot of joy, and my God, that is self-care to its finest, to just connect and not care what other people are thinking and let the inhibitions go and just have fun. And so sometimes it could be my favorite gospel track. Sometimes it could be Cardi B. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Whatever my spirit needs that day. Sometimes you gotta act like you your own fly girl. You gotta sometimes be your own fly girl. Sometimes you gotta act like you at the concert, singing back to Beyonce. Sometimes you gotta act like you are the concert. You know what I'm saying? Yes. It just does something for the spirit. That's self-care. So those are just a few things that I have to do to maintain my self-care in the ways that I show love to myself, as well as making sure that I stay grounded and that I can stay clear in the mind and that my mental and emotional space and spiritual space stay well. I would love to hear what you all do for self-care. Maybe I can take some ideas from y'all. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you're having a wonderful self-care Sunday. And until the next time, make sure that you continue to love on yourself and do whatever you have to do to maintain your grounding. Bye for now.